on 94.9 FM. BBC London.
Thank you, John. Good morning. Emergency services have been called to Liverpool Street station after reports of an explosion. It's thought the incident was caused by a major power failure. The station's currently cordoned off. TfL are telling people to avoid the entire tube network. British Transport Police have confirmed there are walking wounded and said paramedics have responded to one report of a person classed as life at risk. More on that as soon as we get it. The team that won the 2012 Olympics for London are returning home tomorrow, determined to make an early start on the preparations, which will fill the next 7 years. An Olympics bill setting out the framework for the Games will be introduced into Parliament in the next few weeks. Meanwhile, Ken Livingstone says he won't hesitate to use compulsory purchase orders to free up the land in Stratford. And the work of the G8 summit at Gleneagles has begun, with Tony Blair meeting George Bush over breakfast. They're now joining the other leaders for their first formal talks. Signs of compromise on climate change have begun to emerge. Reports suggest there'll be a deal on seeking alternatives to fossil fuels, the strategy favoured by President Bush, rather than cutting emissions. That's the summary. We'll have a full bulletin at 10.
On 94.9 FM, this is BBC London.
As Max just mentioned, there's a major incident taking place in the city at the moment. Transport for London are asking all passengers to avoid the London Underground. Now, if you are avoiding the tube, obviously, and you need to take a train somewhere, you can get a bus instead. Tickets are being honoured by London buses until further notice. We'll let you know about that. And stations are still in the process of being evacuated at the moment. Now, that's causing disruption for Wagon and Thameslink too. Got severe disruption on those mainline services around Liverpool Street and Moorgate, and a knock-on effect for the roads in the city as well. Houndsditch has been closed off at the A10 Bishopsgate junction, and the police are asking drivers to avoid the city at the moment. Elsewhere, Chiltern Railway line is closed Denham to Beaconsfield. Buses running after last week's tunnel collapse at Gerrards Cross. Services to and from the Midlands diverting via Aylesbury. We've got a free park and ride between Denham Aerodrome and Denham Station with 400 parking spaces. Also problems for Midland Mainline, Bedford to St Pancras. They've already got the overhead line problems at Mill Hill Broadway, and obviously that's being affected now by the problems in the city. Onto the roads on the eastern side of town, there's an accident from the M11 southbound, that's 8 to 7, causing problems Stansted to Harlow. Burst Watermain still closing off the A12 Eastern Avenue eastbound between Moby Dick, that's Wellburn Lane North and Morney Road. You've also got some problems on the A2 coming in through Falconwood. Had an earlier accident at Watling Road as well, London bound. Further west, Kingston Bridge slow near Hampton Wick High Street. The flower show's on at the moment. And it's also stationary further south, one lane blocked off for an accident on the A23 Brighton Road northbound around Hawley Row. A1 Barnet bypass easing off southbound through Stirling Corner. You've still got some queues on the North Circular westbound through Green Lanes at the Clockhouse interchange. And just to go back to the public transport side of things, just to finish off, again, Transport for London asking all passengers to avoid the tube network at the moment. Stations are in the process of being evacuated. Tickets are being honoured for you by London buses. We'll keep you updated on that one. And finally, for the weather, rather cloudy at times, occasional heavy showers. Top temperatures 21 Celsius, 70 Fahrenheit. Jules Wilson, BBC London 94.9. The next update's at